Are you ready? Hey, think you can tell us what to do?
Welcome, ladies and gents, to the greatest podcast in sports entertainment. We're getting there. It's the PWC podcast, and it is me, your mother's favorite podcaster, Vaz. I'll be taking care of you guys for the illest man in the room. And it's all about Smackdown. That's right, it is the Smackdown review. And we had some breaking news just before the Smackdown review. That is that Bayley is injured for 9 months. Meaning we're going to have a new competitor who will take on Bianca Belair at Money in the Bank. We'll get to that in the review show. We also had 2 Money in the Bank qualifiers. We had Big E taking on, not Big E, sorry. We had rather Cesaro taking on Seth Rollins and King Nakamura. I can't do that as well as Boogs. I apologize if I made your ears bleed right there. My bad. Taking on Baron Corbin, the depressed looking Baron Corbin. And of course, we also had Roman Reigns announce that he will be on the show today. Let's get straight into the review right here on PWC. Before we do that though, guys, please remember to subscribe, click on the notification, leave your comments down below, and give us that all-important thumbs up. We love bringing this content, and we want to bring you more and more every single week. Let's get to the reviews. So we kicked off the show Smackdown, the last Smackdown in front of the virtual crowd at the critically acclaimed and award-winning from someone Thunderdome. We kicked it off with Roman Reigns coming down to the ring to explain basically what happened last week. Before he could say anything, the chant of Roman sucks filled the air, and a little Uso popped out. Good old Jimmy Uso popped out and said, "Listen, Roman, where were you at, huh? What were you doing, man? What's up, huh? What's going on?" And Roman basically said, "I wasn't here last week." He claimed he was on a vacation. He's like, "I wasn't on vacation. I was here cleaning up your mess. And this is what I returned with." And boom, Uso's music hit again. It is Jey Uso came out. And then there are 3 of them all in the ring. And Roman said, "This is what I wanted. This is family. This is what we must do." And Jey and Jimmy have declared that they are going to go for the tag team titles, while Roman declares that he is going to decimate Edge. And that's how that little lovely segment ended, with the 3 of them all happy-go-lucky. It was nice. It was a lovely little segment. I didn't see too much other than it just being a nice, wholesome segment. So that was lovely. And then we moved on to the first Money in the Bank qualifying match. We had King Nakamura taking on Baron Corbin, and we got Big E to help on the commentary desk at ringside. Him and Pat McAfee sat on a couch. It was beautiful, had a nice foot spa. It was a little bit awkward though. It felt out of place when it came to the commentary side, because it felt like Michael Cole was doing a lot of the commentary, and Pat McAfee and Big E were just basically chilling, relaxing, shooting some b-ball. No, kidding. But then it was that. And then we also got a bit of a recap of how bad Baron Corbin's life has gone since losing the crown, which is a very intriguing storyline I'm picking up. I like it. The match itself was just pretty much what Nakamura and Baron Corbin have done in the past 3-4 weeks. It wasn't anything extra to talk home about. A surprise victory though, might I add. I thought Corbin was going to go over. Nakamura picked up the victory after a King Shasha. Again, you see, so this is the problem I'm having right now with Money in the Bank, and the men's one especially, is we've got 5 faces, initial 6 faces now with Nakamura joining, and only 1 heel in the space of Johnny Drip Drip, who can also be classified as a bit of a more comical character rather than, a heel. But you got the likes of Ricochet now, Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens, Nakamura, Big E. These are a lot of big faces in the company currently, and it almost feels like WWE is trying to put the Money in the Bank on a face, which for me personally, I feel like that's a wrong move. I feel heels make better Money in the Bank winners. And Yeah, but we'll get to the last bit now, the last one as well, because we had the potential of getting a face in Money in the Bank. But for this match, yeah, like I said, it was there. It's happened a few times. Nothing too exciting. King Nakamura progresses, which means we're probably going to get Rick Boogs entrance at Money in the Bank, which I'm thankful for in front of a live audience. I think that might be the best entrance we'll ever hear in WWE history. We then pressed on to some tag team action. It was Natalya and Tamina who were told this morning, apparently, or Friday morning, that they're going to have a tag team match for a non-title match against a mystery opponent. They came out and said, listen, they've basically dominated this tag team division right now. There is nobody who's worthy. And then we got the surprise. We got the Shotzi Blackheart, and not with Ember Moon, but rather with Tegan Nox. That's right, we got Nox and Shotzi coming out on the tank and everything. It was a good pop for me. I'm a big fan of Shotzi Blackheart. I'm a big fan of Tegan Nox. I'm also a big fan of Ember Moon. I was just a little bit confused. And two reasons why I was confused about this debut. Number one, Shotzi is a longtime tag team partner of Ember Moon. In fact, are former NXT tag team champions, the two of them. So that was a weird one that Ember Moon wasn't with Shotzi. The second one that really confused me is Tegan Nox literally made her return to NXT on Wednesday, where she attacked Candice LeRae for putting her on the shelf, for basically breaking her knee. So I'm very confused as to why these two. Well, Shotzi I can understand coming to SmackDown. She's basically done everything she can do at NXT. She was never in a position to win the title, so it makes sense that she comes up to SmackDown and have an opportunity there. But it doesn't make sense to put Tegan Nox when you have a tag team partner in Ember Moon with Shotzi, and Tegan Nox just made a return on NXT. It was very mind-blowing. I was confused. However, the match proceeded, and Glenn, I say the Shotzi Blackheart picks up the victory over Natalya and Tamina, probably putting them in line at Money in the Bank pre-show or something for a tag team opportunity. Again, a little bit confused, but I loved the surprise of it all. I did not expect that at all. I saw in the morning, just before I watched SmackDown, that they had announced there was going to be a mystery opponent. I was probably thinking someone on the lines of like Naomi and Asuka maybe coming out on SmackDown, something like that. I did not really picture someone from NXT. And if I was going to NXT, I was going to think it was probably going to be like Zoe Stark and Io Shirai, the new tag team champions, because I think that would have been a cool little match. But I did not expect Shotzi and Tegan Nox, of all people. That was just... And then after that whole mind-blowing explosion, Sonya Deville came down to the ring, and she was getting ready to announce who Bianca Belair's opponent would be at Money in the Bank, now that Bayley is out for 9 months. And before she even got to that, she said, listen, the match is not going to take place at Money in the Bank anymore. Everyone was like, what? And then she says it'll take place at SmackDown instead, in front of a live audience. The first title match in front of a live audience in a year and a half. Let Michael Cole not forget to tell you that. Woo, baby. Anyway, obvious choice. A lot of people suspected it probably would be. It is the most beautiful woman in all of WWE, Carmella. That's right, Carmella was announced as the challenger for Bianca Belair, and really none of us actually have an issue with that. She is the most likely of challengers. Some people thought there might be like a little fatal 5-way or 4-way fatal match, and the winner gets the opportunity. That was another option. But I think the likes of Carmella coming through was great. And the fact that they brought Liv Morgan out with that was also good. However, I was a bit disappointed how they announced this, because Liv Morgan came out and said, listen, I'm actually pissed off. I should be in the match. Why does Carmella? I've beaten Carmella twice now. I've beaten Zelina Vega. Why am I not the number one contender? Deville says, listen, whoa. You're going to be replacing Carmella in the Money in the Bank. So... yeah, I get the point that she was probably going to be in Money in the Bank eventually. I think she was going to maybe earn her spot in there. I think they were going to... honestly, I'm going to get to this why I think this as well. But I felt like it was a bit of a letdown for Liv Morgan. It feels like almost... a bit of air got knocked out of her push with this one, just being handed that rather than being earned into the Money in the Bank. But after this, we also then got a little bit of a vignette of Toni Storm, and it says she's debuting on SmackDown soon. I can only assume probably next week, and she will be the fourth and final person, or no, the third person in Money in the Bank for SmackDown. Who the fourth person would be, I'm still guessing Sasha Banks or Becky Lynch. Those are my two options for the final entrant, who I think we'll only find out on the night. I don't think they're going to announce it on SmackDown. I feel like tonight they were supposed to announce maybe Toni Storm as an entrance, and then have Liv Morgan come out and beat Toni Storm, and then be like, well, I've been in all three entries, why am I not into it? And then come in the fourth spot. But I think now they've had to change plans a lot because of what happened to Bayley. We then moved on to the final hour of SmackDown, and we had the second Money in the Bank qualifying match, and we're joined on commentary by Kevin Owens for this match. And I must say, Kevin Owens did a hell of a lot better job than what Big E did. Again, I felt Big E's one was a bit disjointed. Kevin Owens came in there and basically brought the house down. He is fantastic on the mic. God forbid if he gets any long-term injuries, put him on the microphone, put him on the announcing desk. He's fantastic. But of course, touch wood, we don't want to see Kevin Owens get injured. We want to see Kevin Owens fight. Into the match, of course, we had seen this match twice before. It's the rubber match of the trio, and I was 100% behind Cesaro getting in. However, I started looking at Money in the Bank and the fact that King Nakamura got in. My mind started twisting and changing and allowed Seth Rollins to creep into my mind and become a contender in Money in the Bank. And Bob's your uncle, that's exactly what happened. As a result of the match itself, though, it didn't feel like Cesaro and Seth Rollins. Now, normally I can watch these two wrestle for hours. They're just so good in the ring together. Yes, there were some great spots, but it just felt a little bit disjointed. It didn't feel like a proper Cesaro versus Seth Rollins match. I don't know how to explain it to you guys. Like, the match at Backlash was better. The match at WrestleMania was even better. It just felt like an end to a terrible, it just felt such anticlimactic to the storyline that we have there. I'm hoping they get carried on with this, though. I don't want this to be the final match, because it wasn't that. It felt flat. That's the best way I can describe Cesaro and Seth Rollins. However, Seth Rollins moves on to Money in the Bank, and we're going to have then, for the SmackDown side, makes it Big E, Kevin Owens, Cesaro, and of course, King Nakamura. And over on the Raw side, we're going to have Ricochet, Drew McIntyre, Riddle, and of course, my personal favorite, Johnny Drip Drip Morrison. That's right, so you know who I'm rooting for. However, I don't think this is going to be the final 8 going into Money in the Bank. I'm going to say it right now. I'm going to put money on it. Sami Zayn sneaks his way into Money in the Bank. I've got a gut feeling they cannot drop the ball so badly on Sami Zayn, because Sami Zayn, as Mr. Money in the Bank, could possibly be one of the best storylines heading up into WrestleMania from now. That's how good Sami Zayn is. The current heat that he has, the current emphasis he has in WWE right now, with the whole conspiracy theory and everybody going against him, I'm putting money on it. Sami Zayn is going to weasel his way into Money in the Bank, and he's going to win Money in the Bank contract. You heard it first, folks, here on PWC, your mother's favorite Vaz. Sami Zayn is winning Money in the Bank. And you can bank on that, baby! And then we get to the final segment, but before we do that, we had a little backstage segment of Otis and Chad Gable, and I don't know how you guys feel. Like, I get bored watching Otis lately. I start yawning, my eyes start closing. I feel like he just sucks out all the fun that is in wrestling. And I get this evil persona, and Chad Gable's doing a hell of a lot of good work in trying to get this man over. But it just feels like, you know what I mean? I know I'm using that a lot today, but it literally feels like he just sucks out any form of entertainment that you get from watching wrestling. I don't know if it's just his dull look on his face, or the fact that it's a big guy dominating. It's a classic old trope. I don't know, but I just feel Otis, and especially Otis. Chad Gable I still enjoy. He's quite good on the mic. He's funny. The way that he mentioned that Otis can take on Roman Reigns and Edge and anybody else who comes into his way. It's cool. But I feel like they need to do something now. They need to pull the trigger on a tag team title run or something. But, I don't know. Anyway, moving on ahead to the final segment. The main event, I guess. Wasn't a match, but it was Edge coming out and saying, "Yay, Roman! Get your ass out of here!" We saw Roman backstage. Roman's like, "Listen, boys, you stay here. I've got this." Roman goes to the ring by himself, even leaves Paul Heyman backstage. We get a little cut segment just before he says anything. And Jimmy say, "Listen, I think there's something wrong here. It doesn't feel right." Jimmy and Jay hit down. Roman says, "Hey, what are you guys doing here? This is me. Let me do what I need to do." Roman hits the ring. Him and Edge start brawling immediately before any words are said. They just go at it. Jimmy and Jay try and come into the ring to try and rescue. And booyaka, booyaka! The Mysterios are back and they lay the smackdown on the Usos, chairs and all. Dominic Mysterio hits a 619 on Jimmy as well. They've taken them out. They then turn their attention to Roman to try and help Edge. And they start brawling. Usos eventually take out the Mysterios outside. They enter the ring to try and help Edge. Edge then fights them all off. Mysterios come back. They beat up them. Roman escapes from the ring onto the ramp. His partners are lying on the side of the ring, beaten and bloodied. Edge grabs a chair onto Jey Uso. He's completed the trifecta. All three have got a bar in their mouth in a crossface. And then the Mysterios continue to lay down the smackdown. He then puts the second one, Jimmy, into another crossface. Mysterios continue the beatdown. And this is how it ends, with both Uso brothers in the ring, knocked out, basically. And Roman forced to watch on the stage. And it begs the question, is Roman in this for his family, or is this all about Roman Reigns alone? Which obviously points to the fact that we're going to get a tag team match at Money in the Bank, and I've got a feeling it'll be made official next week. It will be the Mysterios taking on the Usos, and of course that builds up to the bloodline whole thing that we've had, the tribal chief, head of the table. I'm going to go out. I'll give you my predictions next week for Money in the Bank. And yeah, let's see how this all pans out. SmackDown on the whole, good show. Good show. And, of course, when it comes to a good show, you've got to have the Vaz Scale! It's the Vaz Scale. SmackDown was a good show. It wasn't as good as their previous weeks, however. I felt like the tag team match, the women's tag team match, was a little bit of a glorified squash match to get Knox and Blackheart over. Shotzi and Knox, whatever they're calling them, get them over. I felt the Cesaro Seth Rollins match wasn't as good as it should be. Otis was on there again, which brings the show's rating a hell of a lot down. However, a good positive was the fact that we got a hell of a great opening match opening segment with Roman Reigns. I like that whole coming back together, bringing the bloodline together was great. And then we got a decent qualifying match between, of course, Nakamura and Baron Corbin. It was better of the two. And then we got what I think was probably match of the night, or segment of the night, and that was the ending with Roman Reigns and Edge and the Mysterios and the Usos. All in all, this show gets himself a 6. That's a 6.5, because I'm a big fan of the Bloodline storyline, so that's going to always get me over. I've acknowledged Roman Reigns a long time ago, so I'm good on that one. But that's all the time we have for you guys. Please join in again. Every day we got drum reviews. We do reviews of Raw, NXT, AEW, and SmackDown. Also on Sundays, we also have a special broadcast of either the List of Vaz, which is coming out on Sunday, or of course I'm getting a whole bunch of friends together, and we're going to be talking about Money in the Bank. So please stay tuned for that video. It's going to be fantastic. The way we talk, you guys will enjoy it. I promise you that. We just basically get together and talk a whole bunch of rubbish for your enjoyment. That's all the time we have for you on the PWC podcast. I'm your mother's favorite podcaster, Vaz. And until next time, peace and chicken grease.